So today we're going to be elaborating on this video we made the other day, and it's going to be a $25,000 to $1 million portfolio. And we're going to be talking about how to do this exactly step by step. Let's get straight into the video, guys. Before I start, my name is Zach. Just remember, nothing I say is financial advice. If you want to join that Patreon before the price goes up, secure that price for life. We are making a few, I'll call them half-decent calls, but so far they're doing exceptionally well. If you don't want to miss out another call, make sure you check that Patreon out. Link is in the description. And apart from that, let's get straight into the video. So this demonstration will be aiming to attain a 40x on our initial cryptocurrency investment. So we're aiming to get a 40x on 25,000 US dollars. Obviously, if you're playing with half this amount or double this amount, the same principles apply, but this will be going for a 40x portfolio. So it is a safer portfolio in my opinion. Also, a few considerations before we get into it. Do not invest more than you can afford to lose. I'm sure you've heard that in every single YouTube video you've ever watched on cryptocurrency, and only invest in projects that you have thoroughly researched and have high conviction on. It's very important. And also, if you have high conviction on a project, do not listen to the FUD that may surround it. It's the worst thing you can do, as it plays games with your head. So if you believe in a project, make sure you back it. Also, with a larger amount of starting funds compared to our $5,000 to $250,000 portfolio, what we're going to be doing in this video is dividing our initial allocation into different play genres, as I like to call them. So we're going to be looking at 3 different plays to make this 40x on our portfolio. Our first one being our safe plays, our second one being our mid-risk plays, and our third one being our degen plays. It's a good distribution across these 3 different areas of cryptocurrency, and it's a way to maximize your gains in the bull run. So first things first, we're going to cover our safe plays. So I define safe plays as plays that are guaranteed to 20 to 40x from the current point. So obviously we're going to be playing with our lower caps for this portfolio because it's going to be really hard to make a 40x on high caps such as billion-dollar plus projects. So having safe plays is a vital part in portfolio risk management. These will be here to provide you with solid gains and back up your portfolio in case every other play in your portfolio fails. Not saying this is going to happen, but it's just a good risk management strategy moving forward and going into the bull run. So in order to find these safe plays, we need to think about a few different things. So firstly, we want a play that is in multiple narratives, but more on this soon. Secondly, we want a play that is going to succeed, don't we? So in order to know if a project's going to succeed, we want a few different things, such as solid social media coverage in multiple narratives, builds or provides an ecosystem. For example, Shido, excellent play. New and revolutionary technology, has never seen a bull run before, known and docs team, constant development updates, and highly active on social media. If a project has all of this, we know it's going to achieve success. Thirdly, on the talk of narratives, we want a project that is going to be in some of the top narratives destined to boom this cycle. So you may recognize this if you watch my recent videos, but basically these are going to be the hot narratives this cycle. So for example, let's have a look at Tectum. Tectum is one of my top safe plays this cycle. So Tectum is a layer 1, layer 2, and scaling solution. It's in the BRC20 narrative as well. It is scaling Bitcoin. It's also a payment, privacy, security, it's in the privacy, security, and payment narratives as well, and a few other ones. So we can see it's already got excellent coverage in our main narratives. Also, Tectum has solid social media coverage. It is in multiple narratives. It is providing an ecosystem. It is new and revolutionary technology, taking it to that next level. It hasn't seen a bull run before. The team is known a doc, so I think you guys get the point. So you can see why this play is a safe play in my opinion. The ideal market cap for safe players, however, should be sub $500 million if you're looking to 40x your portfolio. So there's no point having a $2 billion market cap safe play because the chances of it reaching a $40 billion to $80 billion market cap is not very likely unless it's a very good play. So the ideal market cap is going to be sub $500 million for this example. However, these projects must project that they have potential to run into the multiples of billions this cycle. Elaborating on that, new launches can be an excellent way to get into 100x safe plays from the very start. The earlier you get into a play, the better the compound on your initial investment is. So bear that in mind. Allocation-wise, this should be around 20 to 40% of your portfolio in my opinion. For a $25,000 investment into cryptocurrency, this will be around $5,000 to $10,000. This will give you good coverage, good gains in case every other play in your portfolio fails, and it's going to get you around the $200,000 to $400,000 mark with little work done apart from your researching. So going off that $10,000 with that 40% of your portfolio and that 20 to 40x, like we said, we should achieve that mark. So right now we've covered our safe plays, and this is what it should look like in your portfolio. As we can see here, if you're choosing 20% as safe plays, that is what your allocation will look like, and 40% will look like so. And we have around 60% unallocated in this example. Let's get onto our mid-risk plays. So mid-risk plays, these plays will bring the most gains to your portfolio. Once you have safe plays in your portfolio, you can play mid-risk plays with confidence, as your risk of losing money in the long term from your entire portfolio combined has pretty much been successfully mitigated with these safe plays. So as these plays are expected to reach higher yields, the allocation can be similar to safe plays, yet yield much higher returns if they gain serious traction. So there's a few things I want in a mid-risk play, and one is solid social media coverage. So you don't want a project that their last X post was in 2023. It doesn't really look too good on the project. Also, we want it in a hot narrative. More than one is better, but it doesn't have to be that way, because there's heaps of, solid stock standard gaming projects out there that are bringing something new to the market. And on bringing something new to the market, we want something that is new and revolutionary, whether it's technology, whether it's the project, whether it's what they're offering on the market, and what they're offering compared to the competition. Also, players that have not seen a bull run before is ideal. However, there are some players that have seen bull runs before that are doing exceptionally well and are going to smash and obliterate their previous all-time highs, but this is just my preference. Also, we want constant development and updates on the project, a highly active social media, and also in a thriving ecosystem. These seem to be the best things to define a good mid-risk play. Obviously, if we have more components than this, such as all of the components that we look for in a safe play, it makes the project's conviction a lot stronger, in my opinion. So a few examples of some solid mid-risk plays. So AGI. AGI's success was ultimately driven by two things. One was its hybrid AI and gaming narrative, and secondly was its revolutionary product. So C, it doesn't meet all the requirements of our safe play, but it meets all the requirements of our mid-risk play criteria. As we can see, from a result of this, a 4 to 5x happened in a very short period of time. The good thing about this is when you buy into a project like this earlier, if the price does a 100%, you're essentially getting a 2x on that 5x, so it will be a 10x when it does 100%, and then when it does another 100% from the price it goes to, it'll be a 20x, and so on. Next, we have ZKSwap Finance, which actually started off as a degen play and turned into a mid-risk very quickly. So it was due to three things. The success of ZKSwap Finance, was due to three different things. One is their new and revolutionary piece of utility on top of what we currently know and use on decentralized finance, which is one, the swap to earn mechanism, and two, the exceedingly low Ethereum gas fees, and also their gas refund incentive behind the project. Secondly, there was their position in a growing ecosystem, which is the ZK Sync ecosystem. And thirdly is their constant development, updates, and new utility that they release. So there's a few considerations we need to think about before we get into a mid-risk play. So ideally, you want to be in before it hits mainstream, whether it's YouTube, whether it's X, as in big accounts, that sort of thing. So current buyers of ZKSwap Finance will achieve unbelievable success as they have been positioned and are positioning themselves in one, a growing project in a growing ecosystem and prior to a centralized exchange listing, and the number of social media influencers covering this project is limited, and it's going to only grow with time. Also, when the release of the ZK Sync token happens, this is going to be major for the project, and there's also major upgrades planned for the future. Secondly, newly launched projects and new shiny gems are ideal for maximizing your gains, but it isn't necessary with all projects. It's just a nice thing to make your project stand out from the rest and stand out from competitors. Nextly, and this is a very important thing, you want to get into a project, it should say A there, so you want to get into a project that has potential to grow, obviously, but when I say this, you want to identify a trend that is likely going to occur or is just starting to ramp up prior to it occurring. One thing I like to say is you want to be where the money is going to be before it gets there. That's my quote, guys. I hope you guys like that one. So I did this with Tectum, Mintlayer, ZKSwap Finance, Metis, AGI, the list goes on. So if you want to never miss another call, make sure you guys subscribe. Nothing but alpha on this channel. So if you do this correctly, you'll essentially become a money magnet and profit will naturally be attracted to you. So when I say this, what I saw with Tectum in the very early days was a very new and revolutionary project before it even launched. So when I got into that project, I knew this was going to boom because it fit all the safe play criteria. And it was a safe play from the very start. And they really turned into something big, and there's a lot more for this project coming. It's going to be absolutely enormous. So if you can identify these things early, you are going to achieve nothing but success. So if you can identify an opportunity early, you can easily 50x to 70x on safe plays and also mid-risk plays as well. So once again, going back to ZKSwap Finance, the first buy was at a $500,000 market cap. So this was originally a degen play, but identifying this opportunity and the potential it had to grow, it turned into a mid-risk play very, very quickly, and very soon it's going to be a safe play. So this is probably going to allow me to achieve that 1000x return simply by identifying where the money is going to be before it got there. So if you can do this, I guarantee you are going to be extremely successful in the cryptocurrency space. Don't forget it, guys. Be where the money is going to be before it gets there. You will be rewarded if you do this. So on the terms of allocation, mid-risk plays for ultimate return on investment should be 40 to 80% of your portfolio. And if you do your research correctly and identify these projects and these trends before they happen, you'll be surprised at how many potential mid-risk plays turn into safe plays, all right, with time. So it's very, very beneficial to know where the money is going to be. For this example, let's say we have 40% set as our safe play allocation. So roughly a 30x from the current point with $10,000 invested. It's going to be around $300,000 return. We're going to use around 60% as our mid-risk play. So $15,000 at a 50x return is going to be that $750,000 mark plus or minus. So this will easily leave you with a solid $1 million in profit. But bear in mind, this isn't easy, all right? It's a lot easier said than done. Trust me, guys. So you really need to push yourself. Find those gems and get into plays early. Going into the bull run, there is going to be a lot of plays that come up that have excellent potential to boom in very short periods of time because we're not buying the bottom anymore. So you're going to have to really do your research and really work for your money. And I can guarantee if you work hard for it, you are going to get it. You don't want to follow what those big influencers are telling you to buy because they're obviously already heavily allocated in those projects. So yes, it is still very achievable to get into these plays, but you have to act very, very quick, especially at the current point. So this is what our portfolio currently looks like. We have mid-risk plays allocated here and our safe plays allocated here. In this example, we have 40% in our safe plays and 60% in our mid-risk plays. But you might be thinking, or you might not be thinking, what about our degen plays? So we're going to go into that right now and how they can be incredibly beneficial and upgrade your current knowledge and your current portfolio size in the cryptocurrency space. So with degen plays, I would recommend only allocating 1 to 2% of your initial investment into cryptocurrency to the degen plays. And I call this play money, all right, because it's money you have to be willing to lose in order to make a lot more. Now, when you allocate 1 to 2% of your initial crypto portfolio investment into these degen plays, I recommend building up as you go. So if you start with $250, build that into a $10,000 degen account, or build it into a $2,000 degen account, take $1,000 out, put that into a mid-risk or a safe play, and then restart your degening and then build it up from there. It's an excellent way to print money if you know how to play the game. But if you're not familiar with the on-chain game, I would highly not recommend doing this. You do have to have a very good understanding on the degen game and the on-chain game in order to have the ultimate success, because ultimately, if a high volume cryptocurrency influencer recommends a degen play, they've ultimately got a high allocation in that project. So The idea of degen plays is to find something that will gain short-term traction so it can roll over a quick 2x plus. So a lot of degen players, you're going to get around a 2x. I'd recommend rolling out that initial investment. That's a really good risk management strategy in order to do so. But I'm not going to go into risk management in this video. However, if you are up a decent amount, like I said, always take profit. Whether it's that initial investment, whether it's 50% of your allocation, take that profit and get out of that play. But obviously, if you find a degen play, one of those, needle in the haystacks, gem in the mine, that sort of thing, you can hold it, turn it into a mid-risk play. And if you're very, very lucky and very, very good at finding gems into a safe play for the bull run. Ultimately, that is probably the only way you can get 1000x from the current point in time. It's very, very hard to do, and it's a lot easier said than done. So researching a degen, we need a project that is going to be appealing to the market and has potential to gain traction in the future, but ultimately to gain traction in the short term. So degen to mid-risk. On the rare occasion, like we said, a degen can turn into a mid-risk play or a bull run hold. If you do snag a project like such very, very low, you can easily turn that $250 allocation into a much larger amount of money. But like I said, it's very unlikely unless your research is top tier. But like I said, there's nothing stopping you from still getting 1000x play in the degen game and turning that into an ultimate safe play for the bull run and retiring this cryptocurrency cycle. I'm kidding. You can retire with a safe crypto portfolio. It just depends on the amount you put in, the amount of effort you put into actually finding gems, and obviously managing your money going down the line. So also with degen plays, you have to be happy to lose that money. All right. If you're putting $250 into a play and that's 50% of your portfolio, you're going to be watching that like a hawk, and it's going to play games with your head. So only put in an amount you're happy to lose, and lose that association with that money straight away, so it's not playing games with your head and you're not watching the chart like a hawk 24/7. There's a few reasons why I like to play the degen game personally. The main reason why I like to play the degen game is to print a few bucks in a short period of time. With excellent risk management combined with sound research and a solid mindset, you can build up spare capital at a solid pace. It's a good idea to reallocate these profits into a safe or mid-risk play, especially if you're up a decent amount, as you can build the strength of your portfolio and take it to that next level, ultimately making safer gains in the long term. But like I said, if you snag a ZKSwap Finance at a very, very low market cap and hold it for the bull run, you can get that very, very large return on your initial investment. And it's very, very good to do. But like I said, it's not for everyone. You have to have sound research in order to do that, and it's not a walk in the park. So ultimately, if you want to make a large amount of money in cryptocurrency, you really have to put in the time and effort in building your portfolio. The good thing about cryptocurrency is the input to output ratio is through the roof. So you can put in a little bit of effort and you'll make a lot in return. But if you put in a lot of effort, I guarantee you're going to make a fucking shitload of money. All right? Pardon the language, but I guarantee you're going to do it. So what you need to do is you really need to basically decide right now what you want to make. All right, how much you're going to put in, and you can essentially determine how much effort you need to put into the cryptocurrency game. If you want that help on your cryptocurrency investing journey, trust me guys, I got the gems for you. We just had a call on Reactive Fusion, currently up, I think it's over 4x at the current point in only a matter of days. So I've got all the goods, guys. If you want to join that Patreon, that link is in the description. Secure that price for life before it goes up, because I guarantee you it will be going up in the future, as there's nothing but alpha there. Apart from that, I hope the cryptocurrency markets are treating you well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.